I hope everyone is enjoying their breakfast so far. Please feel free to continue enjoying your meal as we continue. And for those of you at home, well, anybody else have trouble getting their suit on? Was that just me? It's like COVID has affected everything, hadn't it? Hey, it's my great pleasure to introduce today's keynote speaker. He graduated from Texas A&M University and received his commission in the United States Army Field Artillery in 1979 as a distinguished military graduate. During his 31 years of military service, he commanded soldiers around the world and served in leadership positions in various joint and operational commands. His numerous military awards include the Distinguished Service Medal, Defense Superior Service Medal, and the Legion of Merit. Please welcome the Commandant of the Corps of Cadets at Texas A&M University, Brigadier General Joe Ramirez.
Well, howdy. Good morning. I apologize for walking a little gingerly up here. I did March to the Brazos on Saturday with the cadets. And if I've learned nothing over the last several years as Commandant, I've learned that that's a young man's game. I am too darn old to be out there doing that stuff, and I've got the blisters to show for it. I am truly honored to be here with you this morning. You know, I had to put some thought into this because I normally speak on leadership, and I also talk about leading through adversity. And I had to put some thought into this, but I thought I would lead off with what is one of my favorite Psalms out of the Bible, and it's one that I've used many times, not just here, but also when I was deployed, leading other soldiers in some pretty difficult situations. That's Psalm 144, which goes, "Praise be the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war, my fingers for battle. He is my loving God and my fortress, my stronghold and my deliverer." And I like that quote, and I thought I'd use it this morning because my father died last August, and he was 89 years old and the finest man I've ever known. He was my hero. But he taught me early on. He said, "Son, you got to love three things in your life. You got to love your God, you got to love your family, and you got to love your country. And sometimes loving your country means your country's going to call on you to step up when they need you." And he said, "Never forget that no matter where you are and what you're doing, love your God, love your family, love your country." And my dad taught me that early on, and he taught me that, you know, we have to stand up for what's right and stand up for causes that we believe in. And when you look at the numbers of the homelessness across our country, they're appalling. And that's why I'm a huge fan of Habitat for Humanity. I've had the opportunity to serve on the board of the United Way of the Brazos Valley for 7 years, an opportunity that I still to this day consider one of the best opportunities I've had since I've been here in the Brazos Valley. And in fact, there are many of you sitting in this room that I got a chance to serve on that board with. And I got a chance to see Habitat for Humanity and watch them firsthand and see what they do. And it's incredible to see the work they do, and more importantly, to see the benefit that's given to families like the Ocampo family that I had the pleasure of sitting with here, having breakfast with Marissa, Valentine, Destiny, Jasmine, and Sophie over here. Getting old, man. But to see the impact it's going to have on their lives. And just to throw some numbers out at you, over 580,000 people experience homelessness on any given day in the United States. It's estimated that 155 million people are homeless worldwide. The average age of a homeless person in the United States is 11 years old. The average age is 11 years old. And by the way, 25% of Brazos County residents live below the poverty level. And just so you know, the number one cause of homelessness is a lack of affordable housing. And for me, as a veteran, as the son of a veteran and the father of two veterans, it is estimated that over 40,000 veterans are homeless on any given day. Now, for me, those are appalling numbers, all the way around. And it does my heart good to see the great work that Habitat for Humanity does for the Brazos Valley and its citizens every single day. 300 homes have been built by Habitat for Humanity, 1,279 people have been housed, $404,660 of annual reinvestment back into the Bryan College Station community, and over $250 in monthly savings for those families. Huge, huge commitment by Habitat for Humanity in what they do. And so it's opportunities like this where I get just a few minutes to say thank you to those who are part of that on behalf of families that don't have that opportunity. And I grew up in inner city Houston in a very poor, all Hispanic neighborhood, but the one thing, as I was reflecting back on that, all I could think of was I never remember anybody in my neighborhood not having a place to stay at night. I never saw that. You see it more now than we ever did back when I was growing up in that inner city neighborhood there in Houston. I think about what it would be like to have to live like that from day to day, seeking shelter, hoping somebody would give you a helping hand along the way. And so now that I am a citizen here of the Brazos Valley, I feel it's our responsibility to help those citizens that are in need, that 25% below the poverty level, that work hard every day, but still find it hard to make ends meet. And I am grateful for organizations like Habitat for Humanity and what they do to serve those citizens every day and help them end homelessness in the Brazos Valley. Small step toward hopefully ending homelessness across our country, the richest country in the entire world. Now, I have shared this story before, and this is an example of how homelessness can potentially affect young people today, young people that I get a chance to interface with almost on a daily basis. It was several years ago, and those of you that know me well know that I'm fairly active on Facebook. That's about the only social media outlet that I'm proficient in. I don't know anything about Snapgram and InstaChat and all those other things out there. I'm not real good at those things, but Facebook I enjoy getting on there, and I've reconnected with a lot of old friends. And as the Commandant, I've got a page there. And every week during football season, my staff will take pictures at football games, and we'll post them. And one of the pictures that we're going to post showed one of the cadets in his uniform holding his son at a football game. And his son was sound asleep. And if you've ever been to an A&M football game, you know that's not an environment to sleep in. But here his son was about 6 years old, sound asleep. And I said, that's a really cool picture. And oh, by the way, this cadet was a veteran. He was a member of our Delta company, which is a veteran's outfit in the Corps. And so I said, we got to post this picture, but more than that, I need to find out about this cadet and learn a little bit about him. So I posted that picture and told a story about this cadet who had been in the Marine Corps, had graduated high school out of Houston, joined the Marine Corps, had been in the Marine Corps for 8 years, 3 deployments, and had gotten out of the Marine Corps and was coming to Texas A&M to be a student. And he was a single father. And this was his son. And I thought, great story, so I posted it out there, put it on Facebook. The next day, and I was down in the Rio Grande Valley recruiting when I got this message on my personal Facebook page. And I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to try to get through this without getting too emotional. It says, my name is, and I am a Texas A&M University police officer. I am also a proud former member of the Aggie Band, and I am writing you in regards to your recent post about Cadet blank that was shared by many of my online friends. I would like to share a short story with you about how I met Cadet X. It was just this past summer in early July when I was on patrol in the South District of Maine campus. I was driving through the parking area, 40B, when I observed a pickup truck in the rear of the lot all by itself. During the summer months, the parking lots are usually empty at night. I will usually drive past any vehicles parked and look for suspicious or criminal activity. When I drove past the aforementioned truck, I noticed that all the windows were completely rolled down and did not see anybody inside. I positioned my patrol vehicle behind the truck to make an approach on foot. Once I was standing next to the driver's side of the truck, I observed there was a young boy sleeping in the back seat. In the front seat was a gentleman that was attempting to sleep. I introduced myself and asked the gentleman for identification. He gave me his license and identified himself as John Doe, and said that the young boy in the back was his son. I asked John why he was sleeping in his truck with a young child on such a hot and humid Texas summer night. He told me that he was a newly enrolled student for the fall and had driven up from Pearland to look for a place to live. I asked why he didn't get a hotel for the night. John said that he only had a few $100s to his name, and all of that money had to go toward a house in the Bryan College Station area, assuming he could find one. When I had initially approached John's truck, I noticed he had custom Marine Corps license plates. I asked him if he had been in the Marine Corps, and if so, when he was discharged. He told me he'd been in the Marines and left service about a year ago. I informed him that I had also been in the military. After graduating A&M, I enlisted in the Army and served 8 years. Halfway into our conversation, Officer Blank showed up on scene to offer assistance. I informed Officer Blank of the situation because Officer Blank had been a sergeant in the Army as a Cav Scout. We continued to speak with John about his future plans coming to A&M and if financially he had a plan, which he did not. I then decided I needed to call my supervisor to let him know the situation that John was in. Sergeant Blank then arrived to our location. Sergeant Blank was particularly interested in Kevin because he had been a 16-year veteran military police staff sergeant in the United States Marine Corps. Sergeant Blank quickly connected with John, sharing in that special bond that all devil dogs have. Between the three of us military veteran officers, we knew we couldn't leave a fellow veteran and his young son sleeping in their truck, homeless, on a hot summer night. We decided to all chip in some money to get John and his son a hotel for the night. We offered the hotel to John, and he quickly said he did not want charity or handout. We told him it was neither of those. It was fellow veterans taking care of another veteran in need. As a veteran family, we have given so much for our country. If we can't at least take care of each other, allergies, how can we expect others to help us? I specifically told John that he was now joining another large family, the Aggie family. I'll be damned if I let another veteran Aggie go in need without me trying to do whatever I can to help them. I think John started to understand how we felt about his situation, and he accepted our offer. Sergeant Blank then took John and his son to a local hotel and rented them a room for the night. I'd like to think that that night a small sacrifice of a few dollars helped a fellow veteran and an Aggie in a big way. I only tell you this story as an example of the Aggie spirit. I and my fellow officers are not looking for recognition or praise. Jason, proud of you. Actually, in my official report that I wrote, I did not mention we purchased that hotel room. Please feel free to share this Aggie story with others, but I ask that you omit our names. On a few occasions, we've been on duty and asked each other how that Marine in the parking lot was doing. I have shared your post with the other officers on scene that night. We are all glad to see John and his son are doing well. God bless America, God bless our veterans, God bless the Corps Cadets, and God bless the Aggie family. Now, I tell you that story, allergies and all, because when I read this, I was on a recruiting trip, and I'm sitting in my vehicle getting ready to go into a high school to talk to them with literally tears streaming down my face. And of course, my recruiting guy who's with me is looking at me going, what the hell's wrong with the Commandant? You know? And I got to tell you, I use that story as an example of how a small act can go a long way to helping people in true need. And we have way too many people in need across the Brazos Valley. And Habitat for Humanity is one of those organizations that offers the kind of help that they need. They have trained their hands for war, their fingers for battle, and they are fighting the fight against homelessness so that families like the Ocampo family can truly enjoy calling a place their home. And I am honored to be a part of that. Thank you for all that you do to support our citizens in the Brazos Valley. God bless all of you. God bless Habitat for Humanity. God bless the great state of Texas, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
Thank you, General Ramirez. We're honored that you came here today, and we're deeply grateful for your inspirational words and your support. I have no doubt that the video you're about to see will also inspire you. In 2007, Adiel and Maribel Limon purchased their Habitat home and moved in with their 3 children. A lot of changes have taken place in the Limon family over the last 14 years. Let's take a look.
My parents came to this country with a lot of hopes and probably not a lot of money in their pockets, but definitely with the faith that they could provide a good place and better opportunities for their children. And with us in mind, 100% of the time, I seriously don't have any doubts that that's why they came here. My sister and I were actually born here in Bryan, Texas, but we actually lived in Mexico the first few years of our lives. Eventually, we ended up coming here back to Bryan, Texas. My dad obviously wanted to provide a home for us, so we ended up moving in a trailer home, and with his construction job and my mom working for the school district here, they were able to get us a place to live. So we lived in our trailer home for a few years before we got approved to live in our Habitat for Humanity home. When our home was dedicated in May 2007, my parents and us wanted to dedicate a few words to all the sponsors. And I wanted to read a few of those words to you today as well. I was looking for the prettiest words which would express what I feel. Gratitude is what our feelings express. We thank Habitat for making our dreams a reality, for making us a member of the great family formed by Habitat. We give our gratitude for helping us become owners of a small place on this planet. We thank you for planting the seed of hope. We were finally able to move into our beautiful home here, and we were able to start our journey and a lot of memories from there on. So after graduating high school in 2013, I was able to get into Texas A&M, Giggin, woo! And graduate in 2017. During my time in college, I definitely learned that having a safe place to be at was very valuable, especially with late nights of studying and getting home at 2, 3 a.m. I never felt unsafe driving back to my house and getting off my car, no matter the time of the day. That was something that I definitely valued a lot. And now that I look back, I realized that having a stable place to live and in a safe environment definitely allowed me to cherish my school work, cherish my life outside of this home in a more peaceful way. I'm really grateful that thanks to my career at A&M, I was able to have a career in IT, and I cherish that every day. I'm also married to my beautiful husband, Aníbal, and the best of it all is that now I can take a look at the possibility of owning my own home as well. I just want to make sure donors know that the contributions that they're making, their generosity really goes to change people's lives. Like beyond just giving us a stable home to live, we're able to have the opportunity to change our lives and be able to ensure that we can also be contributing members of not just Habitat, but the society in the future. And I'm very thankful for that opportunity. I can assure you that you're not only changing the lives of the parents that you rent the home to, but you're also changing the lives of the kids that are going to live there. And be sure that your money and your energy and all your efforts are definitely something that are changing and impacting the world. I don't mean that as a line to convince you to donate. I definitely mean that in the sense that I was able to get a career. I was able to have such a positive experience during college because I was able to have a home to come to every single day. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be a contributing member of society right now. I may be stuck in a cycle if it wasn't for me not having to worry about where to sleep and if that was a safe place or not. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be in this home and to have grown here as well.
A decent, affordable home really is the key to transforming a family's life. We're really fortunate to have Audie and Maribel here with us this morning. I'd like for them to stand so we can give them a warm welcome. Thank you both for sharing your incredible journey with us. Back in 2007, the Lamone home was funded by Frank and the late Betty Thurman in honor of their children and grandchildren. We're happy to have one of their children here with us this morning. Please give another warm welcome to Trey Thurman and his wife, Chris. Trey, Chris. Our next speaker was eager to share her story with you today, and I'm delighted to introduce her. She's getting close to receiving the keys to her new home, which is being sponsored by the Circle of Women. This home will be the 14th home sponsored by the Circle of Women, and I'm sure some of their members are here today. Can you please raise your hands if you're part of the Circle of Women? Thank you, ladies, for all the time, labor, and funds you contribute to Habitat's partner families. No doubt you're excited, as I am today, to hear the story of this capable and kind young lady. Please welcome our testimonial speaker, Marissa Ocampo.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Marissa Ocampo, and I'm going to be the proud owner of Bryan College Station's 303rd home. I'm also a proud single mom to my 4 beautiful children. They're here with me today, as he mentioned. Jasmine's 15, and she's in 9th grade. Destiny's 14. She's in 8th grade. Sophie's 13 and 7th grade. And last but not least, my youngest, Valentine, he's in 6th grade. We wanted a boy. I was so excited when Habitat asked me to share my story with you because I wanted to speak on behalf of the single moms that I met through the home buyer program. I still keep in contact with them because they understand the difficulties single parent families face, and we've motivated each other through the process, and I'm very grateful for their friendship. I was born in Seguin, Texas. My parents actually immigrated from Mexico in the 1980s, so we established in Luling, Texas. I'm a first-generation Mexican-American, and I have 3 siblings too. My older brother, I'm in the middle with my sister, and we have our younger brother. So me and my sister always shared a room. We moved to the Bryan College Station area when I was 4 years old. My dad worked in the oil fields. He had an opportunity to put down roots here, so he took it, and we've been here since. My parents immigrated to the U.S. Without knowing a soul or speaking a word of English. They worked extremely hard because they wanted to better themselves and wanted a better future for us too. I watched them build a life from scratch without anyone helping them or taking care of us. My father was a responsible man who took care of our family, and my mom didn't start working till we were all in school. We lived in a mobile home for a long time, and I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was normal to, for that to be it. And we only did because it was affordable. It wasn't until high school that my dad was able to actually purchase a house, and that's because of his good credit. My parents taught me about working hard and establishing credit at a young age. And so the journey began when I was 16, and I started working at HEB, and I'm still there part-time. I've been a single parent for 10 years. I'm fortunate that my children's father is involved in their lives and pays his monetary portion. Still, a lot of it does fall back on me. I take them to school, help them with their homework, take them to their appointments, and make sure they have everything they need from one day to another. And so while they're at school, I'm working full-time at Texas A&M, the veterinary hospital, as a business associate 3, which is a fancy word for accounting. I took the job because it paid more and there's room for growth. It's a very professional setting, but at the same time, they're very family-oriented. I love working there. I also pick up shifts whenever the kids go with their dad, so I have something to do. My ex-husband works in construction, so when he can't work because of inclement weather, I make up for it by working at HEB 10 to 12 hours a weekend. I appreciate their flexibility. Since 2011, my children and I have lived in 5 different places. Finding something I can afford that's big enough for all of us is difficult. Either the rent is too high or the unit is affordable but falling apart. For example, the largest house we ever lived in, we leased for only 2 years because the rent was going to jump from $710 to $895. Then we lived in my uncle's mobile home for 3 years, which was convenient because he was family, but then it was in bad shape. There was no central air, no heat, there was an insect infestation, and then I decided we needed to go elsewhere again. The house we currently live in is a small 3-bedroom, 1-bath home. It also lacks central and air conditioning, but we have window units. Unfortunately, we can't keep them all on at the same time because the circuit breaker is old model, so we can't even blow dry our hair together. And Valentine, my only son, doesn't seem to get any privacy with a house full of girls. And with only one restroom, it's hard to get his turn. The water eventually gets cold after so many showers. So as you can imagine, I'm so thankful for Habitat's ownership program. Even though I've been doing the best I can, there's always been a little voice that tells me I wasn't doing enough. The feeling led to anxiety and depression. Anyone who has ever suffered from depression knows how much it can weigh you down. I had to learn how to take care of myself, and then also, because I'm prideful, ask for help. I had to keep telling myself, what you're doing is enough for your situation and for your kids. Slowly but surely, I'm climbing up that mountain. Fortunately, God blessed me with wonderful children, and I love being a mom. They always tell me I'm doing a great job, and we have a really good relationship. They are, of course, super excited about the new home. My oldest daughter, Jasmine, will finally have her own room, and Valentine will finally have his own privacy, and the 2 girls that fight the most will be sharing a room, so they'll have to get along. It means a lot to them that we're doing this together. They help by being good kids and submitting their grades, and also go with me to help on construction sites for our sweat equity hours. They just make a great team. I call them my quad squad, and I couldn't ask for a better one. For me, becoming a homeowner is a big step. At the same time, it's a positive step, and I'm proud of myself for that. It's a lot of work, and I don't know why. A lot of people think that this program is government assistance, but I always tell them, let me explain. I still have to work hard. I still have to make a mortgage payment. I still have to maintain my credit, we still have to have insurance, and I still have to pay taxes. So it's not just given to me. It also takes time attending the financial fitness and home maintenance classes and completing sweat equity hours, which is labor work. If you really want it, you're going to get it done. The classes were well worth the time. They taught us about managing and saving money, how to maintain our home. They explained why we should do something when it needs to be done to our home. We learned to for example, let our water faucets drip. I'm a girl, so I didn't know that. During the freeze, that came in handy because we didn't lose any power or none of our sinks in the restrooms or the kitchen froze. And above all, how many people can say they helped build their own home? I learned how to put siding up, and we measured and cut it, and Habitat has a great team of volunteers that help each other and teach each other. It amazes me to see little old me working on this big house. I call it big because I think tiny. I tell you all this because of what Habitat means to me and so many others. It means an opportunity to have something of our own. The rent in Bryan Coast Station is sky high, and no one feels like they have a chance to have something that belongs to them. Habitat gives families hope and helps lead less stressful lives. It also gives their children a place they can always call home. Again, it's not a handout, it's a hand up. I talk to my kids about it all the time. I say, you want something nice, you have to start young, you have to be responsible by doing your chores, doing your schoolwork. It goes to show what kind of person you're going to become in the future. It's okay to start from scratch. Starting from scratch shouldn't be a burden. It should be something that you're proud to do. And in the end, we'll have something to show for. I can't wait for the day that me and my children move into our Habitat home. Above all, we cherish what we have and know that we worked hard for it. And that's all that matters. Thank you all, and God bless you.
Marissa, thanks for sharing your story with us. And she thought that was going to be hard. We're happy that you and your quad squad will soon have a larger, decent home where you can put down roots and prosper. Hey, now it's time to hear from our last speaker. And yep, we may go a few minutes long. Just stay put. You too, stay put. Our last speaker recently joined Bryan College Station Habitat for Humanity's Board of Directors. He's the Director of Player Development for Texas A&M University's football team, and he was also the keynote speaker at the 2019 Community Builders Breakfast. Please welcome Mikado Hinson.
Howdy, beloved. Hope you're doing well today. Thank you all for sharing testimony. Appreciate the video testimony, and I have no idea why Michael said we may go a little bit long today. I have a script, and I'm going to do my best to stick to it. So, but hopefully you've had a great time of fellowship and encouragement at your table. As Michael mentioned, I recently became a board member of the BCS Habitat for Humanity group here, and it's an honor and truly a privilege to be able to serve, and I'm looking forward to witnessing firsthand the transformation that happens when families like the Limon and Ocampo family, they've become and are becoming homeowners. And so it is truly a joy just to have the opportunity to partner with such a great organization and has such great history in this area. I'm off script, but the opportunity to serve. We don't use the word transformation lightly. Owning a decent, affordable home is life-changing for the families that partner with Habitat. It enables them to put down roots instead of moving constantly or living in overcrowded situations. It frees parents from the stress and the hopelessness that comes from living paycheck to paycheck and having to forego quality health care or food just to pay rent. It gives children a stable place to be able to concentrate on their studies, to play, and be kids. It improves the physical and emotional health both of parents and the children. Amen? Who makes these changes possible for our partner families? Above all, the Lord does. But he also asks us to trust him, particularly in times of adversity. He assures us that all will be well. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, if you're taking notes. But countless people in our community also make these changes possible by giving of their time, their money, and labor to help us sponsor and build decent, affordable homes. Many of you here today are among the BCS Habitat for Humanity supporters, and you faithfully just continue to partner and keep coming back, and that is greatly appreciated. Some of you may be learning about Habitat for the very first time. Wherever you fall in that continuum, we do appreciate you taking the time to be here today. As of today, 16 families have been accepted into the Habitat's home ownership program and need financial sponsors before their homes can be built. If you would like to give a hand to help one of these families, myself, and we're asking that you would just prayerfully consider making a donation today. I really believe that it's seed sown in good ground. Your donations make a difference. Any gift, whether large or small, will help give these families brighter futures full of possibilities. As you're making change possible in their lives, you'll be making our community a stronger and even better place to live. If you're able, I encourage you becoming a sustaining member in our Community Builder Society by committing to a monthly donation. The reoccurring revenue coming from a nonprofit world is really a blessing. And by doing that, you'll be strengthening Habitat's future by impacting the lives of multiple families. Habitat extends a huge thank you to the current members in the Community Builder Society who are listed on the back of the program. You can look through their names there. If you've completed your pledge recently, please consider renewing the same amount or even consider bumping that up just a tad. Finally, I'd like for you, if you would like to make a donation online or from your phone, you can go to the website habitatbcs.org and click on the donate button and follow the prompts there. So many people are so far advanced. I'm doing that right now. That's fine. Remember, Style Craft Builders will generously match every gift made by June 1st, dollar for dollar, up to $40,000. Thank you so much, Stylecraft, doubling the impact of your gift. And so right now I'm going to give everyone just a brief moment. This is when usually things get quiet and you start considering and maybe take time to pray and start filling out your envelopes. But I'm going to give you just a few minutes here to do that right now. And we do want to thank you again for searching your heart. And again, might I say, that you are sowing seed in good ground. You hear the testimonies, you see the fruit. And so I want to encourage you as you're seeking what you're to give, or already even knew when you came in the door what you're going to give. I want to give you that time to be able to do that right now. So please enjoy the music. We do, again, I said at the beginning, appreciate you so much for making time to come out and being a part of this Community Builders Breakfast, Homeowners Breakfast, and we'll give you a few minutes to fill out your cards. And when you're done, you can just pass those, put them in an envelope, and pass them to your table sponsor. Thank you. thank you so much for searching your heart and filling out your pledge card or going online to donate. We do greatly appreciate that. Again, if you haven't given that envelope, the green envelope, put your donations in there and then give them to your table captain. So again, from the bottom of our heart, we do appreciate you being here. Thank you for sowing seed into good ground, into Habitat BCS. And whatever gift you made today, just know that it is greatly appreciated. So once again, I'll bring back Michael up as he is here to give us a quick wrap-up. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Mikado. When I grow up, I want to be that guy or General Ramirez or Marissa when I grow up. Hey, thanks to all the board members and staff members for all your hard work and dedication to Habitat's mission. Guests, you can take the floral arrangements. We want to say thanks to Madeline Hill at St. Mary's Catholic Center for her assistance. If you'd like to make a donation for the arrangement, you can also place it in the envelope on your table. Add a zero. Once again, we want to extend our heartfelt thanks to the businesses and individuals who made this event possible. Stylecraft Builders, Davis & Davis Lawyers, and all the 2021 table captains. Most of all, thanks for coming to support this great organization. One final note, table captains, please turn in your green manila envelopes at the stage before you leave. That's all, folks. Have a wonderful and blessed day.
I was figuring it was on this side. Oh, okay. That's where the focus was.